Hello everyone, and welcome once again to Caleb Likes Books. Today I have my end of the month update for October of 2025. Going to talk about the books that I read this month, talk about some books that I got, and a couple other things. I went on a small vacation. I'm going to talk about that a little bit as well, because it is kind of relevant to the channel a little bit, and just talk about how things have been going. So, this month I have 12 books to talk about that I read, 8 of which I read and finished during the month of October, 2 of which were from September that I finished in early October, and 3 of which I am still currently in the middle of at time of recording this. By the time this video comes out, I may have finished 1 or 2 of them, probably not all 3, yeah, so a lot of stuff to go over anyway. So first things first, the books that I finished that I started in September, the first of those was Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, which I really enjoyed. It was a really good book. Took a very long time for me to read, longer than I really had initially expected, but I really enjoyed it. It was a really good book, probably one of my favorite books that I have read so far this year. I will say, if I ever do decide to reread it, I am probably going to go for the abridged audiobook, which even the unabridged audiobook, which I read, I would say like 80 to 90% of this book on audiobook, with the last little bit in like physical, but I think the audiobook already is like over 60 hours, and the abridged audiobook is 40, which is still long. But if I ever do reread it, I'll probably do abridged. But still was a very good book. Really enjoyed it. Definitely would recommend it if you have the time and the patience and the commitment to get through it. It is well worth it, I think. I also finished up The Sapphire Heart by Three Scribes, which is the brand new indie book that they sent me an early copy of a few months ago, and I read that and finished it right before release date, and I really enjoyed that as well. It was really cool. Cool new self-published series for all of you to check out if you're interested. Really great world building, really good writing. I think a lot of potential for future books of that series. It's definitely one that I will be wanting to keep an eye on, and hopefully when book 2 rolls around, hopefully I can get my hands on it and check that out as well. So that's the stuff that I finished from September. As far as other stuff that I read this month, I started the month reading Bloodborne: The Bleak Dominion, which is the final Bloodborne graphic novel, which was pretty okay. Didn't love it. I would say next to the third graphic novel, which I believe was a Song of Crows or something like that. Something like that. It's probably my second least favorite of the graphic novels. The art was good. The story was kind of interesting, but it never drew me in that much. And there was like a couple things about it that kind of bothered me. But it was still a decent graphic novel. I also, on audiobook, did a couple things towards the beginning of the month. I did I Don't Want to Kill You by Dan Wells, the third book of the John Cleaver series, and I really enjoyed it. It is maybe my favorite of the series so far. Really loved it a lot. I honestly wanted to go and pick up book 4 like immediately, and I didn't do that because I want to space out series if I can, but I really wanted to read book 4 right after, but I did hold off on that. But I am planning to do the audiobooks for books 4, 5, and 6 next year, and so then I can finish that series, because I so far have loved all of the first 3 like a lot. Like, they were all 5-star books for me, and if I enjoy the back half of the series as much, then it may become an all-timer series for me, I think, and it may already be, honestly. So great book, really loved it. I also did Knight of the Silver Circle, which is the second book in the Dragon Slayer trilogy by Duncan M. Hamilton, which was good. I don't think I liked it as much as the first one, but it was still good. Some cool story stuff going on, some interesting political machinations and things like that, and some good scenes and things of that nature. Looking back on it, I don't think it was as memorable as the first one to me, and I didn't feel like the characters quite connected the same way as they did in the first book, but it's still a pretty good time, and definitely had me interested in reading book 3, because there was a couple really, really cool things that happened towards the end of the book that had me really excited. So I am looking forward to finishing book 3. I will probably I might try to do that in December. I'm not sure, but we'll see if I do that, or if not, it will be probably sometime in the first quarter or so of next year. I also did, for another audiobook, I did Ghost Mother. That was an audiobook that I did on Hoopla. That was like a free borrow at the end of each month. You only get a certain amount of borrows on Hoopla because you do it through the library. I get 7 per month through mine. And at the end of each month, they have a whole like selection of things that you can borrow without using up your monthly borrows that you can basically get for free. So that was one that they gave out at the end of September. So I listened to that and I really enjoyed that as well. Really interesting story, fun mystery kind of aspects to it, some interesting themes and things like that. One that I really enjoyed. So let's see, some other stuff that I read. I did Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes, which was really good. I did that one also, I'd say 2/3 audio, 1/3 physical book or so, if I were to guess. And really enjoyed that as well. Really good first half, very like strong sci-fi horror feeling to it. That was really well done. Really good first person perspective writing that really enhanced the story a lot. The second half of the book kind of fell a little short for me. There was some things towards the end, like some of the revelations and things of the mystery and everything that didn't quite land for me. It was well done, but it's just not what I would have preferred. But it was still a really good book, still one that I would definitely recommend if you haven't read it before. Another one that I did that wasn't even on my TBR, and I don't think Ghost Mother may have been, I can't remember, but I don't think it was. But another one that wasn't even on my TBR was called Somebody Help Me by Beverly Hastings. That was actually a book that my wife read when she was a kid, and she found her copy of it, and she asked me to read it. It was a special request that she put in for me to review on the channel, so I did. I read it in a day, because it was pretty short, and I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. Interesting story and stuff, kind of similar to Dead Silence. Like the ending was like a slight letdown for me, but it was still an enjoyable book. I still had a good time with it. Nice quick read, something that was a decent time. So the few books that I am still finishing up, first of all, before I talk about that, there's a few things that I may or may not get to. There is the Cats of Ulthar Tale Reimagined by Bruce Brown graphic novel. I don't know if I'll get to that. I'm hoping I will over the next couple days. We'll see. Then there's also The Whisper That Replaced God, as well as Bound by Blood, which I was planning to read. I'm probably not going to have time for those this month, so those may end up on my TBR for next month, because I think both of them are pretty short, so I might be able to squeeze them in. But what I am currently reading, I am doing The Shining by Stephen King at the moment. As of recording this, I'm about 1/3 of the way through. I probably won't finish it by the time this video comes out, so it will probably take me into next week, but probably not too far into next week, I would think. It's been reading pretty quickly, and I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. I started it over our vacation that we went on, which I'll talk more about in a few minutes, but I read part 1 of The Shining, which was like 80 or 90 pages, like all in one sitting. Unfortunately, did not get to read any more of it over our vacation because we were pretty busy, but I did really enjoy that, and I have since read some more of it, and it's pretty good so far. I'll be curious to see where it lands for me in comparison to other Stephen King books, because at the moment it's good, but it's not quite like at that amazing level that some of his other books tend to be for me. But again, I am only 1/3 of the way through, so but I'm still enjoying it. I also am in the midst of the Gunmetal Gods audiobook at the moment. I think I'm about 1/3 of the way through that as well, which I am enjoying. Some cool like world building stuff, interesting story things going on, and pretty enjoying it so far, I think. Hopefully I will have that done around the time this video comes out. Maybe not by the time it comes out, but sometime like by the weekend or early next week maybe. Hopefully I'll have that done. And then I also am working on the Fall of Cthulhu graphic novel, which I'm having a pretty good time with. The first part of that was excellent. I finished part 2 earlier today, and I thought it was decent. Didn't hook me the same way as part 1, but it was still okay. So I think there's 5 parts in total, so I'm going to try and finish that up if I can. And, having a good time with it so far. But, yeah, part 1 definitely was the superior part of it for me so far, so hopefully I'll enjoy the rest a similar amount. So that's everything that I've read or have been reading. So now I'm going to talk about the books that I got for this month. So first things first, I have a couple of things that I was sent to talk about, and then I have a few things that I bought, which I will also go into a little bit, talk about the vacation that I went on. So first things first, I was sent a self-published book called Hoodwink's Folly by Hugh Langridge. which I believe is like a horror novella or something like that, that he sent me. And so huge thanks to him for sending that my way. Don't know a huge amount about it, but he thought that I would enjoy it. He saw me talking a little bit about some other books, and he thinks that it's something that would be more up my alley. So thanks to him for sending that my way. I'll be looking forward to checking it out. I was also sent the new releases from Bane Books as usual, and I did grab one of those, which is called Welcome to the Jungle, which was written by John Ringo and someone else. I can't remember the second author's name off the top of my head, but it looks like it's the sequel or something to John Ringo's book Not That Kind of Good Guy, which is one that I grabbed a little while ago. So I figured, might as well. I assume that it's the sequel anyway, because it looks like it has a similar looking character on the cover. Yeah, I just figured I'd grab that because I think it is seemingly in the same series, so I figured I might as well. So now I get to talk about our vacation, so I'll be showing some photos and things as is necessary, that you can see. But my wife and I went on a short vacation, I think 5-day vacation, throughout New England. We live in Maine, so we started in Portland, Maine. We stayed at a hotel next to the main mall in Portland, Maine, and stayed there for a couple nights. It was pretty that was the relaxing part of the trip where we didn't do much, but we did go to Books A Million, which was right next to the mall, and I did pick up a couple things. I picked up Temptation of the Force, the second book of the Star Wars The High Republic Phase 3. So now I finally have that, and I can continue on with the High Republic, which is very exciting. That's one I've been wanting to get my hands on for a while. And I also picked up The Old Republic Annihilation by Drew Karpyshyn, which is the final Old Republic novel that I needed to buy before I own them all. I still don't have a physical copy of Fatal Alliance or Deceived, but I have them on ebook, and I own every single other Old Republic era Legends book in mass market paperback, or trade paperback in the case of the Lost Tribe of the Sith. But so now I own all of those, which is super cool. And I read this one about 11 or 12 years ago because a friend of mine let me borrow it back in not college, in high school. And I haven't read it since. And I've been wanting to, but I didn't have a copy. So I will be trying to read this probably sometime next year. I'll probably try and go through the 4 Old Republic tie-in books next year and reread all of them because I haven't actually reviewed them on the channel yet. So I will probably try and get all of those done and check them out again. So looking forward to reading that again. So the highlight of the vacation for me in terms of what I can mention like on the channel that's kind of book related was we went to Providence, Rhode Island. We went to a few other places as well, but we were trying to think of things around New England to do. We went to a couple zoos in like Massachusetts and Connecticut and things like that. Went to an aquarium, which was really cool, but we were trying to think of things to do, and I said it would be really fun for me to go down to Providence, Rhode Island, because that is where H.P. Lovecraft spent much of his life. H.P. Lovecraft is one of my absolute favorite authors, and that's where he's buried and things like that. And so we did manage to get down there for a little while. We went like for an hour one night, and then maybe like another hour the next day, although one of the zoos was actually in Providence as well. So we spent more time in Providence than that, but specifically for that purpose, we spent a couple hours in Providence. So I did get to visit H.P. Lovecraft's grave, which was pretty cool. And I also got to go and see the memorial to H.P. Lovecraft next to Brown University, which was also pretty neat. Got to walk around Providence a little bit. It's a great, really nice city, seems to be. I'd love to go back there sometime. We're hoping we can go back at some point, so would love to do that. And on top of that, I also went to the Weird Providence bookstore, which is a bookstore specifically focused on Lovecraft or Lovecraftian books, or they also had some other like fantasy and horror and things like that. Saw a few other like books there, like I saw some Glenn Cook and some Stephen King, a few other authors as well that I know of that are kind of like more fantasy and things like that. But I did pick up a book there, which was John Langan's newest short story collection, which is called Lost in the Dark and Other Excursions. I didn't even know this book existed. I knew he had some short story collections. I've read his book, The Fisherman, and loved it, and I've wanted to read some of his other short stories ever since. But this one apparently just came out this summer. I didn't even know about it, but I can get some of his other short story collections through my library, but I cannot get this one, and I saw this there, had no idea what it was, but I figured I might as well grab it. Been wanting to read more of this guy's stuff for a while, so I am very excited to have that, and along with that, they also gave me a couple, like a little bookmark and a map of Providence with some H.P. Lovecraft related locations highlighted and things like that. So a cool little place. I'd love to go back there sometime and check out some more of their stuff. So that was our little vacation. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And that's the stuff that I got. And so as far as things on the channel are concerned, things are going good. Reviews have been doing well. My review of the Sapphire Heart actually has gotten like 1,500 views for some reason. I don't know what happened there, but that has been doing pretty well, I guess, for some reason. You know, things on the channel have been going pretty good. I think we're a little over 1,050 subscribers at the moment, which is great. And yeah, so not a whole lot else to talk about, I guess. So that pretty much wraps this up. If you have read any of the books that I've talked about, whether they were the ones that I read, or the ones that I got, let me know what you thought of them in the comments. If you read anything cool this month, let me know in the comments as well. I'd love to hear if you have been checking out anything exciting or any books that you bought this month or anything like that. Let me know down in the comments. So that is pretty much all I got for this video. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.